Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Kieran Trippier to try out today. This is a new SPC card that released today. I believe this card costs around 240k to do for, to be honest with you, a very solid right back. We're going to be checking out a few things here and there. The only thing that I think is genuinely missing on the card is the high work rates, because as you guys know, I love the high work rates, but he does look like he could potentially be the high-medium work rate player that just looks and plays really well in game because of specific stats that he has been given, as well as the height that he has. So he's a 5'8 player. So right off the bat, not the greatest start, right? But he's high-medium work rates, 3-star skill moves, and he has a 4-star weak foot. I don't care for the skill moves. I care for the weak foot. The weak foot's very important because if he is if he's around the right back position, I need him to be able to go backwards and potentially pass it back to the goalkeeper in a certain way, pass it to the other center back that is offering his support to him. Stuff like that's very important to me. When a player doesn't have that weak foot, it just really sucks to deal with certain situations under pressure, right? Because your players will do inside passes more often because they don't really want to use that weak foot of theirs. But if he has the 4-star weak foot, obviously a very welcome inclusion. In regards to traits, he has the long throw-in trait, the solid player trait, and the early crosser trait. Early crosser, irrelevant. Long throw-in, surprisingly pretty decent in this game, especially if you go on the attack and the person doesn't realize that your player has a long throw-in trait, so he just takes those throws instantly for the oncoming attacking players. Solid player, I think someone's already explained to me what that does. I don't specifically remember, though, if I'm being completely honest. But his attributes, guys. 91 acceleration, 90 sprint speed, right? His finishing capabilities. He has 56 finishing, which isn't the greatest. So if you have him as a balanced, oriented fullback, if he gets himself into a shooting position, you have to rely more on his shot power than you do his finishing, which is fine. 84 attacking positioning will be good because I feel like with the high-medium work rates, stay back while attacking tactic, he'll be very well balanced regardless. I really do think he'll play somewhat like a high work rate player, but we're obviously going to see what's up with that. In regards to passing, he has fantastic passing abilities. That with his quick dribbling with the ball at his feet in the fullback position is going to be ideal because those dribbling stats that he has with agility, balance, reactions, ball control, so on and so forth, is going to be very ideal in a team or in a player that is 5'8", right? If he was like 6 foot tall, it would still be amazing for a fullback, but when he's smaller, he's going to be more agile to get around the pitch, right? So that's going to be great as well with the 83 composure. You don't need to increase the 83 composure from the defensive stats as well. In regards to defending stats, his base card stats already look really nice as well. With the anchor chemistry style, you're going to give him significant stat improvements to specific areas, especially with defensive awareness. I like when the fullbacks have good defensive awareness, very important. And then the big thing with this card is upping his aggression and his strength with the anchor chemistry style because of the fact that he's 5'8". Now, short players, if you guys have ever realized, when they have aggression and good pace and good dribbling stats and good interception stats, they defend really nicely. A key example of that, or like a major example of that, is Conte's card, right? I personally don't like Conte in the midfield because I like the tall players, right? But as you guys know, he's a really huge meta card, especially like the, not even baby meta, he's like mid-tier meta, I would say, even if it's just the rare gold card, because he's just all over the pitch, right? And I feel like this Kieran Trippier card could potentially do that for me too. I've used Trippier's, I think it was the Scream card, right? It was this one right here, and I was like, you know, it's a cool concept of a card, but if he gets that pace boost, we're looking at something really nice. And obviously with this card, you get significant stat increasements, right? So, yeah, we'll see what's up with it. So the way that I'm going to be lined up is with my typical team, which is perfect for me, right? I'm going to be using the 4-2-3-1 instructions with possession and pressure on heavy touch. Pressure on heavy touch is going to be very interesting with him and how he tracks back into certain situations. But again, we're going to be using him on balanced instructions because we need to see what he's like attacking-wise. Does he transition to the side quickly when I cut inside with Dembele? Because Dembele is a... he's an aggressive attacker. This is the one player I can't tell to come back in the defense because his stamina is so low. Actually, whatever. I'll put a comeback in defense just for the balance, whatever. But I want to see how he plays off of Dembele because Dembele, Bernardo Silva, Ryan Kent are all aggressive attackers in certain ways, in the best ways possible. So I want to see how Trippier is going to play off of Dembele on the balance instructions with the possession-based playstyle because obviously his characteristics kind of need to overthrow the tactics a little bit, right? So that's going to be the key thing here. So we're going to go ahead and try him with the anchor chemistry style. Hopefully, you know, he plays really nicely in game, and he's a good improvement to the squad, because the right side, I have to figure out something to do with that right side. Dembele is good in the beginning, sure, but at some point you kind of got to change it, because I can totally switch some players here and there, especially Bakayoko up top, Osimhen in the cam position, with Kalou on that side as well, and I would still get the chemistry links. But it just depends. We'll see what's up with it. So let's get into a game and see how he plays. Oh, that's good. His body type in game is actually like a big stock, so that's very important. So the 5'8" height doesn't seem as bad, actually. That's actually very, very important that he has that. Nice. If he was like a skinnier player, it would be like a kind of a nuisance, you know, but it's good that he has that body type for sure. He's already aggressively running up, because Dembele likes to cut inside a lot. Little dabber of a touch right there. Maybe score that opportunity. Bernardo Silva. Nicely done. Yeah, you could see instantly that Kieran Trippier with his high medium work rates occupies Dembele's position really quickly. Dembele is the type of player that he's obviously like one of the baby meta cards, because he's just an absolute monster. Even nowadays, he's a freaking beast, even though his stamina is super low, because of the fact that his off-the-ball movement it just moves like that, right? The way that he moves around the pitch to open up space for himself is really, really ideal. Like, if I get into this position right here, you can see Dembele already starting to go into the middle, right? And that's like an ideal situation for me. I like when players do that. It's a very, very nice thing to have. Like, if I do something like this, right, you can see Trippier is already starting to run forward once I start doing that, you know? So, you know, stuff like that, he's gonna play off of Dembele really nicely for sure. Once he starts doing that, it's very, very noticeable characteristic of his so far. Okay, we're gonna push out a position right here. We're gonna make him force. We'll give him the space here. See what his marking is like here. Tracks the player, gets back on side really quickly, which is ideal. He's probably gonna score this opportunity. No, he doesn't. Yeah, his tracking there was pretty generic, I would say. Like, good stuff. Like, I don't expect him to do anything crazy there. He marks the player really nicely, but stays onside as well. You know, he doesn't put players in unnecessary onside positions from the defensive area, so pretty nice so far. On the balance instructions, once he starts attacking forward, he actually does come back pretty quickly, which is super ideal as well. Because you could see in that situation, once I lost the ball in the middle area, he started coming back in the defense really quickly. Even in that situation right there, he goes right back into position. I think he's going to be super ideal on the stay back while attacking, because I feel like that, as well as his high medium work rates, is going to play really well off of each other. But we obviously need to see what his attacking presence is like, how he moves whenever I want to get into those specific situations. Good little pressure right there to put the player off balance. Yeah, his dribbling is really nice. It's ideal for the fullback position, you know? Again, because he has that 4-star weak foot, going to be super, super beneficial for sure. Oh, this game is so strange, man. Ugh. Such a strange game. I like the way that the fullbacks are spreading out with the center backs right now. It's kind of nice. So here's where you see it, right? So once you get into this position right here, that's when Trippier starts to occupy that position. Now we just want to lose the ball randomly right here. Don't even touch it. Now let's watch the radar right there of him tracking back. See how he's tracking back right there? Defensive awareness, really noticeable right there. So on balance instructions, you can expect to get to have this player move really, really quickly back. Maybe not as drastically as someone who is a high work rate player, but you can see that his defensive awareness there to get back into position and defend nicely, really noticeably good right there. His dribbling isn't like super responsive. I wouldn't say that, but it's still responsive. You know, it's like what my typical fullbacks from nowadays should feel like, if that makes any sense. But I like the presence that he offers on the balance instructions. It's pretty nice. Again, sticks to his position really nicely right there. Nicely done. Oh, this Kent card is just amazing. Yeah, he does kind of linger upwards on the attack. If I'm like kind of chilling in the middle, he'll still linger upwards in the attack for sure. Let's see what his body is like here. Yeah, a little bit of pressure right there will put him off the ball, but very obvious. Sometimes players with like 84, 85 composure will still do that too. It's just a FIFA mechanic where it's like when you're almost going out of the field, they just like really lose control of the ball. It's such a strange thing, but it's just a FIFA mechanic. Yeah, so halftime thoughts so far, guys. He's pretty. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty generic. You know, it's not like gonna be like, oh my god, this guy's like the most amazing fullback. Like he's not gonna be on the level of someone, let's just say like the Europa League Mbabu card. He's not going to be like that. That Europa League Mbabu card is crazy, you know? Even to the extent of a rare gold Nelson Semedo, I'd still prefer the rare gold Nelson Semedo just because of those medium high work rates, and his agility and bounce is slightly better. Doesn't have as much physical capabilities, but he is slightly taller as well, which kind of makes that difference. So, in regards to Trippier, he just feels like a cool player to have in your team for links, but for him to be more than just usable. Like, he just feels like a good right back to have just in case, you know? Alright guys, so final verdict on Trippier's card. He's pretty fun to use, I would say. I don't think he's worth the 258 price range of the card, coin-wise. Like, let's just say, for instance, you want to go ahead and buy this card from the SBC. I wouldn't really say it's worth it. If you have untradables in your club, and, you know, you're picking up the card for like 120k, 130k, not too bad. It all depends on the situation of your team, right? Now, for me personally, I still prefer to use a Nelson Semedo card over this because of the medium-high work rates and the higher agility and balance. He just plays really well in the team because those work rates are just so beautiful to have for the characteristics that he offers, right? But as you guys know, I don't like making comparisons between cards because it just really depends on the situation of your team. I have a Rio Ferdinand in my team. If I want to rotate my team a certain way, I can put Kieran Trippier, get the direct link with Rio Ferdinand, and then up top, I can switch the right mid to someone completely different, right? I can put Kalou, link him up with Bakayoko, or with Osimhen's card, put Bakayoko up top, boom, I get the chemistry links, right? So it really just depends on the chemistry links that you want in your team. He's a very good card for what he offers. I just don't think he's as good as his price range is. Does that make any sense, right? Again, he's a good right back. I'm happy that I got him on my team. The way that I'm probably going to fix my team around a little bit is I might potentially switch Bakayoko and Osimhen's position just so that I can fit Kalou in there for a usable right mid in that position because Dembele's stamina is low, so I can't tell him to come back on defense, which is a personal preference of mine. But that's the situation I'm talking about. See how I need that Kieran Trippier to be able to do that? If I put Nelson Semedo there, Nelson Semedo doesn't get the full links with Kalou in the squad. So it just really depends on what you're working with in your team. Like I said, I always believe in sentimental value and trying to have fun in the game, using different players all the time. So he's not necessarily meta. Like I said, he's not on the level of Danny DaCosta or Europa League Mbabu. He's not going to be on that level, right? Like, those guys are amazing. Even the Ricardo Pereira card that I have, he's not on this level, right? Because of the high work rates, weak foot, still can dribble really nicely on the ball, and has a 5'9" height, which is small but significant enough. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I don't think the card is bad. I don't think it's worth the 258k price range. But then again, depends on the situation of your team. He's a good card, not for that price. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.